So, how many people made New Year's resolutions? I usually resolve to lose weight. This year I decided to resolve to lose wheat. I'm eating fewer sandwiches. Yo, I'm sorry. It's been a long. I used to be able to stand up a lot, but it's been a long time since I've done it, and I'm not as good as I used to be at it. And I've got a lot on my mind recently. My wife passed away. No, I'm not. I'm just letting you know. Actually, she was actually killed by robots. And I mean, I'll explain this, and we'll get on with it. I was sitting at home, and there was a knock at the door, and I looked through the peephole, which you should always have a peephole installed. If you don't have one, you can go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and get a kit and put it in your. I prefer Lowe's. It's cleaner and they're more helpful as a rule. Anyway, I looked at the peephole, and on the porch there was a robot. Now, I wasn't sure it was a robot. It was a large metallic humanoid figure, but it was wearing a sombrero. And that threw me because, and Damien can back me up on this, they don't make robots in Mexico. Most of them, as you know, come from Japan or Germany. No, there are no Chinese robots. It's all Japan. So I wasn't sure, and so I said, "Who is it?" And this is when I knew, because it answered, "Help, my car is broken. I need to use your phone." You hear that voice, you know it's a robot, right? Either that or it's a guy that's had one of those episiotomies or whatever those things are called. Those throat things where you have to hold the thing, like the little Norelco thing, to your throat. And besides that, anytime anybody says, "My car's broken, I need to use your phone," you know that if you open the door, a bunch of hooligans are going to come in, beat you, and sing Singing in the Rain. If the films of Stanley Kubrick are any indication. I like Stanley Kubrick movies, I really do, except for Eyes Wide Shut. I did not understand that movie. But it did have beautiful cinematography, so. Oh, and Barry Lyndon, it was very boring. I didn't get it. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm off point here. I saw the robot said that, and I said, no, robot, you can't come in. Which I admit is stupid, because robots don't need your permission to come into your house. I mean, they're not like vampires. A vampire cannot come into your house unless you give it permission. That's a true story. And they will try to trick you, though. You'll open the door and go, "Who is it?" And they go, "I have your mail, here's your Reader's Digest." You know they're a robot, I mean a vampire, because they have that voice, right? Like Count Chocula, who is a chocolatey delicious vampire, who hangs out with the Fruit Brute, which is a werewolf, the Yummy Mummy, who is a mummy that is apparently yummy, Booberry, which is the ghost inexplicably of Dean Martin, and Frankenberry, which is a gay Frankenstein. I don't understand that. Where was it? Sombrero robot. Oh, okay, yeah, so I say, no, you can't, because vampires, it's the vampire thing again. Vampires, you don't want them to come in, and that can be awkward if, for example, let's say your sister Connie's dating a vampire. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, A, I don't have a sister, and B, if I do, her name's not Connie. Just go with me on this. You substitute whatever relationship and name, but for my purposes, it's your sister Connie. Your sister Connie is dating a vampire, and you don't want him to come in for dinner. They're going to think you're a bigot. But the truth of the matter is you can't have vampires in the house, right? Because they will bite your neck and turn you into a ghoul. So anyway, don't let the vampires in. So I said no to the robot, who is not a vampire. And nonetheless, he just used his metallic hydraulic servo arms and just smashed through the door, even though I had a deadbolt. The point of the story is not that you shouldn't use deadbolt locks. You absolutely should use deadbolts. They won't keep out a robot or a vampire, because they can turn to mist. So just don't invite them in. But it can keep out hooligans and ghouls. I know what you're thinking. When's a ghoul going to come to the house? But think about it. What if Connie breaks up with a vampire, and out of spite he turns her into a ghoul? You do not want ghouls coming over. They will eat your face. I'm sorry, so the robot smashes in with the, I said it, with the hydraulic arm thing. He smashes in, and then 6 of his buddies, I guess, I don't know if they're friends, or I don't know if robots have friends, but 6 other robots come sneaking in from the outside. They're very stealthy like ninjas. Except that robots can't do martial arts. They can box, as we all know. They cannot do martial arts. So they come in, and immediately, immediately, one of them has a saw shoot out of its fist and it decapitates my wife. I know what you're thinking. Who would design a robot with a fist saw? It doesn't even make sense because it's not a big enough saw to cut down a tree or something. Maybe light woodworking, or of course it can cut bone because, as I said, it decapitated my wife. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, the robots did that, and then they kind of sort of half laughed, like the ha, and then they left. It was strictly a thrill kill. Is that a right thrill kill? Is that thrill? That doesn't sound right. Thrill kill. Yeah, it was a thrill kill. It just rhymes weird. So anyway, that's why I'm a little off tonight. So I apologize. But anyway, I didn't mean to take it up. I'll go ahead and get into my material now. And so I'm out of time. I'm sorry. Good night.